Okay, so Donald Trump made a epic return to Butler, Pennsylvania. So for those who don't know, or those who have been, living under a rock, this is the first location, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the first location in which an assassination attempt was made on Donald Trump's life. And then a month later, in between 2 months, or in between 1 month, somebody would try and go after Donald Trump again. But this rally is saying a lot in regards towards just what we possibly could witness on election night. And things are beginning to intensify. And Donald Trump returned to this event not only with his VP, J.D. Vance, but a very enthusiastic and hyperactive Elon Musk. So we actually got some videos of it. I think it's important for us to at least break it down and also get some of the 5 takeaways from Trump's return to Butler, Pennsylvania. I can tell you one thing. The amount of enthusiasm surrounding the Trump campaign is abundantly clear. And in regards towards how the media has been covering this election cycle, saying that it's a neck-and-neck race where either that Kamala will succeed, I sure hope your numbers are correct, corporate media, because if this blows up in your face, there's going to be a liberal meltdown, the likes of which we haven't seen before. And Elon Musk, especially at this event, made a 6-minute speech. So let's go ahead and pull up this video here for all you people to see and witness a very hyperactive Elon. Which, hey, look, hey, to each their own.
American astronauts into space. Come here. Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
Yay! Woo! Probably not the best speaker, but all right, whatever. Okay, hold on. Do that again, Elon.
Take over, Elon. Yes, take over. Hi, everyone. As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA. Well, first of all, I want to say what an honor it is to be here. And, you know, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire.
If that's a dig at Hillary Clinton, that's pretty funny. Because never forget, Hillary Clinton has a lot of tall tales saying, oh, yeah, they were doing sniper shots at us, even though that never happened. Remember that? I do, and so does Petridge Farm.
And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot. Fight, fight, fight. Blood coming down the face. Now, America is the home of the brave. And there's no truer test than courage under fire. So who do you want representing America? Yeah, absolutely. And I think this election, I think it's the most important election of our lifetime.
Stop. It's the most interesting and most hilarious. It's no longer the most important. There's no such thing as the most important, okay? And I know there's gonna be some diehard vote blue no matter who, or diehard Trump people. Folks, that record's been played so much. I am the one who correctly predicted this. Most interesting and most hilarious. Most important? No. No, it is not. It got played out. Elon, you should have listened to me, man. Just like how you should have named X into Phoenix instead of X. I don't know why. He still would have had the bird, still would have had the X. Put me in the naming game, coach. I'm ready.
This is no ordinary election. The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your right to bear arms. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. You got 14 states now that don't require voter ID. California.
And Paula Strasser, look, I'm not going to argue with you there. I am definitely concerned of a Kamala presidency because As I have said before, Hardlin's media and a lot of people in independent media have dealt with some massive waves of censorship after Biden got elected into office. And I am very fearful of what would happen under a Kamala presidency. Now, am I saying anything's going to be better under Trump? No. Perhaps the heat won't be turned up as much. But there are many issues in regards to censorship, most notably in regards towards Trump's action towards one Julian Assange, which, again, that's a whole other can of worms. So if we talk about censorship, both sides of the aisle do it. But under Kamala presidency, I don't have a raised eyebrow. I have more of a shocked face, like, okay, how are we going to get hit this time?
Yeah, where I used to live. It is just passed a law banning voter ID for voting. I still can't believe that's real. So how are you supposed to have a proper election if there's no ID? It's just meaningless. And free speech is the bedrock of democracy. And
there are some accounts that you terminated of some good people who should not have had their accounts terminated, Musk. Just throwing it out there.
If people don't know what's going on, if they don't know the truth, how can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment. President Trump must win to preserve the Constitution. He must win to preserve democracy in America. Yes. This is a must-win situation. Must win. So I have one ask for everyone in the audience, everyone who watches this video, everyone in the live stream. This one request. It's very important. Register to vote. Okay, and get everyone you know and everyone you don't know, drag them to register to vote. There's only 2 days left to register to vote in Georgia and Arizona.
Well, all right. First of all, we're talking about censorship, and as it stands right now, because again, Elon Musk, he has again the X account where there is censorship, happening too. I mean, let's be clear here. A lot of good independent journalists and other people have had their accounts removed. Some have had their stuff restored, but let's be clear here. There is a lot of ongoing shenanigans that should upset and enrage anybody. But also, real quick here too, while we're talking about censorship, and this is what I'm worried about. Rachel Bevins, good friend of the show. We've spoken here and there. Her channel just got removed. Man, I'm really afraid. I am so afraid of what's going to happen in the next few weeks. I said things were going to get worse, but you know what? Sometimes I hate it when I might be proven right.
48 hours. Like, text people now. Now. And then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction. Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important. So get everyone you know. Everyone. So speaking to people out there, everyone in the crowd, I think, is already convinced. But for people out there that are watching the video, watching the live stream, you need to get everyone you know, at work, your friends, family, text groups, your social media, everything. Get them to register to vote right now. Only 2 days left for Georgia and Arizona. Only a couple weeks left in Pennsylvania. And if they're not registered to vote, it doesn't matter at that point. Register to vote. I'm being repetitive for a reason. Okay? So nothing is more important. And a lot of people think maybe their vote doesn't count. Well, it does. Okay? It does. It matters. And this election could be decided by 1,000 votes, 500 votes. A tiny margin. So get everyone you know to register to vote. I believe that's swapthevote.com. I believe that's the site. And double check that your registration is good. Don't take it for granted. I'm just being repetitive about this point because it is the one takeaway more than anything that will matter is getting those registrations and then getting everyone you know to actually vote. That is what will decide this election, especially in Pennsylvania. So thank you, and honestly, you want to just be a pest, just be a pest to everyone you know, people on the street, everywhere. Vote, vote, vote.
I'm going to go with Indie Left's message of none of the above, because I don't believe in the two-party system. I don't believe in the Democratic Party, and I sure as hell don't believe in the Republican Party. But in regards towards the threat of censorship, and it is starting to intensify, because we'll be talking about Hillary Clinton and her comments in regards to censorship, it is becoming very clear that we, as a nation, are at risk of having seeing a lot of our colleagues in independent media, be it on the left or on the right, being silenced and suppressed. And this election, the First Amendment is at risk. Now, I don't see Trump being its savior, and I sure as heck don't see Kamala being its savior. But it is interesting to see Donald Trump return back to the very same spot where, again, he had a huge boost in regards to support to his campaign just before the Republican National Convention that was held in Wisconsin. This is a way for him to boost up his numbers. This is a way for him to clearly maybe recalibrate and re-energize his political movement. It takes a lot, and there's a lot of political capital there in which Trump can take advantage of. There was also a memorial for the firefighter who lost his life protecting his family when the assassin was trying to take Donald Trump's life. There were also 2 people injured as it stands right now. They are still recovering from their injuries, but I mean, it is going to be a long road to recovery. But nonetheless, there's so much to really take away from this. And the article from The Hill that we have here is a great way to break it down. So I just want to share it with all you lovely, beautiful people, so that way we know what's going on here. Trump returns to the site of the assassination attempt. Trump's return to Butler had long been anticipated since just days after the July 13th shooting there that upended the presidential campaign. It probably gave Trump more support than he was ever expecting. During that event, a gunman opened fire from a nearby rooftop just a few minutes after Trump took the stage. By the way, at least from what I've been able to see and hear, the security was more on point and everything was intensified, so there wouldn't be a click, copy, repeat. Heaven forbid for a third time. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, that there were 2 attempts on a presidential candidate, and not just my lifetime, but within 1 year, with a month's separation between July and September. We live in a crazy timeline. On Saturday, Trump stood behind panes of bulletproof glass. Really, you are. Snipers and Secret Service agents could be seen around the venue, and attendees carried signs that read, "Fight, fight, fight," a nod to Trump's words after he was wounded in July. The victims, of course, were honored. There was a firefighter named Corey Campatori who was killed, unfortunately. He was protecting his wife and child. He was a firefighter, and they did a moment to be silent for him, which, again, it's very, very sad. Musk, of course, joining on the stage as well, hyping up, jumping up and down. Not the greatest public speaker. And of course, when he's talking about censorship, after we played that video and we're seeing what's happening to a lot of our colleagues across the political spectrum in regards towards free speech and being represented online, it is clear that things are not going to get any better anytime soon. Trump drawing in a big crowd, unlike Kamala, whose events seem to be manufactured. That's still a problem, and it's still a tight race in home stretch. So Trump Hold on. Returning to Butler in a very different position politically from when he was last there. The July 13th shooting came at a time when Trump appeared on track to win the White House in November. He was leading Biden in the polls, and the assassination attempt only solidified his strengths with Republicans and put Democrats on the back foot, which they still are, because after the DNC convention, not only RFK Jr., but Tulsi Gabbard endorsed Donald Trump during the weekend after the DNC convention, because for all intents and purposes, somehow the Kamala Harris campaign thought it was a good idea to lift up their foot off the gas pedal. And how's that working out for them? They're still playing catch up, which says a lot. Since then, Biden's dropped out of the race, and Vice President Harris has energized Democrats. Debatable. Raked in cash, because she keeps on begging for money. I recently just got an email right now. Just right now. $1. We're humbly asking you for $1. You want my George Washington? Well, I cannot tell a lie. I'm not giving you my money. Asking me for money. Give me money. Money me now, Democrats. You still owe us that $2,000 stimulus check. Don't think I forgot about that, you bastards. Trump and Musk repeatedly urged voters to make sure they were registered, particularly with deadlines approaching in states like Georgia and Arizona. So, if anything, what can we take from this? This is the final home stretch. This is the first week of October done. Once then, we go to election night, which is November 5th. That's not a long way from now. Anything can happen between now and November 5th. So what do I tell you, my audience? No matter what happens, there's going to be a threat to free speech. And I think constant vigilance is going to be key. But also in regards to how you're going to vote. You know, you're going to be seeing both sides pressing and pushing you to consider voting for Team Red or Team Blue. I've made it clear, we here at Hardlands Media, we're not endorsing any candidate. This is probably my last election that I'm going to vote for. Third parties leave much to be desired for. While I am impressed with what they have done, they sure as hell could have done a lot more. And perhaps maybe my standards are just too high. But for you, my audience, what you're going to have to do is continue on the fight. Ballot initiatives, helping build movements and organizations not connected to third parties, and not being bullied by the Democratic Party or the Republican Party or their sycophants into making you think you got to vote for them because they're legitimate parties. Remember, the corporate donors control everything. The corporate donors own everything. The same people control the media, control our politicians. Big tech, big banks, Wall Street, hedge fund managers, lobby groups. You don't have a seat at the table. I don't really know what to expect from a Trump presidency. Many people are afraid of it, especially in the vote blue, no matter who crowd, to which I have to say, grow up, stop being a child. But I do have a lot of concerns for a Kamala presidency, too. And with many of our colleagues and friends in independent media being silenced and suppressed, you know, Elon Musk is saying, yes, the First Amendment is at risk. When did you realize that? It's always been at risk. And while this might offend some Trumpers, what he did to Julian Assange, that wasn't right. And Trump didn't open the door. He kicked down that door. Because both parties are guilty for what's happening to the First Amendment. Both parties share the blame. Both parties, even before Donald Trump even ran for office, both parties have been contributing to remove the First Amendment. And if you are a free speech absolutist, no matter where you stand on the political spectrum, that should enrage you on what both political parties have done. And this has been happening under both Democratic and Republican presidential administrations. Whoever sits on the throne, it doesn't matter. To quote Indie Left, who are you voting for? None of the above.